Chapter 6, Rules of Debit and Credit. In the last class, we watched a video on the classification of accounts. About our personal life, what was explained in the video that, for example, we have a wardrobe, and in that almirah, we have not classified our things. All the things are kept in the almirah in a messed up manner, like trousers, shirts, shoes, belts, everything has been kept together. Shoes, of course, we cannot keep with the clothes, but all the things we have kept in a messed up manner. So only we will face problem when we want to go out or when we want to dress ourselves. At that time, we will not be finding the things, we will not be finding the outfits which we want at that time. So what we do, we arrange our almirah. How we arrange our almirah? That this is the drawer for shirts, this is the drawer for trousers, this is the drawer for belts, this is the drawer for socks. Everything we arrange in our almirah. In the same way, in recording, we have just learned that we record the entries. Till now in accounts, you have understood the importance of recording, that whatever monetary transactions and events are there, we record them in the books of accounts. But is the recording enough? Only understanding about the recording enough? No, recording is just the first step that you have understood. Now the next step that is coming is classification. What do we mean by the classification of accounts? Classification is just the same thing which we have discussed, that is arranging your things. And if we are relating it to accounts, then what do we mean by classification of what? Classification of accounts. Like in accountancy, we have different accounts. In personal life, we have shirts, we have trousers, we have belts, we have socks, we have clips, all other things we have. We have our mobile phone covers and everything we have. But in accountancy, what is the thing we have in our hand which we need to classify? We have accounts with us. Like we have the account of debtors, we have the account of creditors, we have the rent account, we need to pay the rent, we have the account of interest, we have the account of cash, we have the account of bank. If we are recording all the transactions together and I want information about cash only, that how much cash is there in the business, I will face a lot of difficulties finding all this information in a messed up way. So what will I do? Like I have made different drawers in my almirah for my outfits. In the same way, I will classify the accounts. And for that classification, we have two approaches when we are classifying the accounts. The first is known as the traditional approach or the English approach, we call it. And the second approach is the modern approach or accounting equation approach or American approach. In this class, I am teaching you about the traditional approach. In the traditional approach, how we classify the accounts. In the traditional approach, we classify the accounts on the basis of personal accounts and impersonal accounts. And personal accounts can further be divided into natural persons account, artificial persons accounts, and representative persons account. And impersonal accounts can further be divided into real accounts and nominal accounts. And real accounts can further be divided into tangible real accounts and intangible real accounts. Now, understanding the meaning of personal accounts first. What do we mean by personal account? Those accounts which are either directly or indirectly related to individuals, companies, firms, or organizations are known as personal accounts. That is, the accounts related to human beings or artificial persons. Company is an artificial person, like we just studied in the class of business studies. And firms and organizations, all these are known as personal accounts. That is the accounts related to persons. Accounts which relate to persons, that is individuals, firms, companies, debtors or creditors, etc. are personal accounts. Examples of personal accounts are like Kumar account is there. Kumar is a person and his account will be known as personal account. XYZ Private Limited account. XYZ, it is a company. Company is an artificial person. So we will call it personal account. Likewise, capital account. Capital account is the account of the owner. So it is also a personal account. And bank is an organization, bank account. Drawings account, the owner withdraws the drawings, the owner takes out money from the business for personal use. It is also a personal account. Creditors, creditors will be taking money from the business. So all the creditors account are also personal account. And now what do we mean by this prepaid account and outstanding account? How are they personal account? For example, suppose I need to get rent from a person. Ram needs to pay me rent. And I have kept the name of the account as rent account, that this person will be paying me rent. Ram will pay me rent, Sham will pay me rent, and Sita will pay me rent. For example, these three persons are paying me rent, but Ram has not paid me the rent on the due date. So it is an account. Now this rent account has become outstanding rent account. And this amount is outstanding on the part of Ram. So it belongs to that particular person. So in that case, it will become a representative personal account because outstanding rent is representing that person who has not paid me the rent. So if the word outstanding has been attached to it or prepaid is attached to it in case of expenses and incomes, in that case it becomes a representative personal account. And the rule of the personal account is when we make the journal entries or when we post entries into the ledger, the rule of the personal account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. Example is Ram paid rupees 30,000 cash to Hari. So Hari is the receiver over here. So what we will do? Can anyone tell me? Hari's account debited and who is the giver? Ram is the giver. To Ram. Clear? So whoever is the receiver, receiver will be debited and the giver will be credited. Classification of personal accounts. Personal accounts can be classified into natural. Natural means the human beings. Artificial. Artificial includes company. And representative personal accounts includes like outstanding incomes and expenses and prepaid incomes and expenses. Clear about it? Clear about the rule also? These rules you will be learning. So natural persons account, natural personal accounts, what will be the example? For example, Ram's accounts, Asha accounts, these can be the example. And in the case of artificial personal accounts, what can be the examples? Examples of companies accounts can be there, example of the account of a club or a cooperative society or any organization can be there. Or representative personal account, the examples can be prepaid rent account, accrued commission account, unearned interest account. These can be the rules. These can be the examples, not rules. And what will be the rule? This is most important. We will learn it by heart, debit the receiver and credit the giver. This is the rule of the personal account. So personal account is clear to everyone. Now I am moving on to real accounts. Again read through this. Natural personal accounts. Those accounts are related to human beings. That is natural persons who are created by God. They possess a physical existence. Examples are Sam's account, Maya's account, capital account. All these come under the category of natural personal accounts. And artificial personal accounts are second among three types of personal accounts is artificial personal account. These accounts do not have a physical existence. However, they are recognized as persons in business dealings. We consider them as persons, though they are artificial persons, but they can enter into contracts. Most often, they are legal entities created by human beings. Examples are any public or private company account, bank account, club account, insurance company account, NGO account, cooperative society account, etc. would fall under this category. And representative personal accounts, this account is different as compared to the other two types of personal accounts, as it refers to accounts which represent a person or a group. It is not directly their account, but it represents and is linked to them. Examples are outstanding expenses account, prepaid expenses account, accrued income account, income which has become due but not received in cash, income received in advance account, unearned commission account, etc. Now coming to real account. Real account, what the name suggests, real, something which is real, something which is important. It is assets, the real information which we want to know from the business. For example, as an owner, if I visit my business once in a while and I ask the accountant that tell me the main information about the account. So what he will be telling me? He will be telling me about the assets. He will be telling me how much cash I have, what are my assets. So assets are known as the real accounts. Any kind of assets which is either tangible or intangible are categorized into real account. Examples are furniture, goodwill, cash, etc. Again repeating here, tangible are the assets which we can see and touch, and intangible are the assets which we cannot see and we cannot touch them, but we can experience the benefits of those assets like goodwill, trademarks, patents, etc. Rule of the real account is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Example is Mr. Job purchased furniture of 75,000 for cash. So cash is coming into the business. For cash is going out of the business, and furniture is an asset and furniture is coming into the business. So what will I do? Furniture account debited, furniture will be debited, furniture is coming into the business, and cash is also an asset and cash is going out of the business. So what will I write? Furniture account debited to cash account. Furniture will be debited and cash will be credited. Clear about it? Now coming to nominal accounts. Those accounts which are associated with income, gains, losses or expenses are known as nominal accounts. That is basically the expenses and the incomes which are there in the business, losses and gains. They are termed as nominal accounts. At the end, remaining balances of nominal accounts are then posted to capital account. Examples of nominal account are rent account, salary account. So all these expenses and incomes, they are nominal accounts. Rule of the nominal account is debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. Example is paid rent of 5,000 in cash. So rent is an expense. So rent account debited. Cash is an asset. Cash is a real account. So cash is going out of the business. So what we will write? Cash will be credited. So the journal entry will be rent account debited to cash account. Clear about the rules? Clear about all the rules of the classification of accounts? Classification of accounts is clear to everyone?